Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. If you are new to the YouTube channel or to the Facebook page, I'm Ginger. And if you have been following us for a while, then you know that we are in the middle of our hashtag Disney restaurant bracket. And tonight we are here to reveal our Elite Eight. That is our top 2 restaurants in all of our different 4 categories. So, as always, when we do these lives, I have not seen the results, but my husband, Evan, who is the brain behind, this entire thing, has seen them as he's the one who's tabulating the results. And so he's joining me tonight to reveal our Elite Eight. So, Evan, welcome in.
Thank you very much. Ginger has a pretty good idea about one of them because my shock last night as I was calculating the results, I was shocked at one of them. And so she walked in. I was in our bedroom sitting there tabulating all the results. And she walked in and she could tell something was up. She was like, "What's going on?" Because I think the look on my face, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And so you'll get to see which one that was about here in just a second. So let me share my screen with everybody and we'll just dive right into this. So our first matchup in the quick service category was Pecos Bill against Polite Pig. Now, let me say this. We had a total of, this was the Sweet 16. So there's 16 restaurants, a total of 8 matchups. 4 of the 8 matchups were extremely close. 4 of them were not, but 4 were. And this was one of them. This matchup actually ended in a tie. Pecos Bill and Polite Pig ended in a tie. So as I always do in that situation, I messaged several of Ginger's coworkers, asking them to vote in this particular instance and break the tie. 5 people responded to me. All 5 of them chose Pecos Bill. And so Pecos Bill, it ended, I didn't even put on here the percentage for that one because now you know. It ended in a tie, and all 5 people chose Pecos Bill to move on. Let's see, there's a couple folks are people are excited. Jen Self, so here we go. That's right. The Parker Show said, "Well, I'd be lucky today." Yeah, their restaurants weren't the ones that were marching on yesterday, so hopefully they will today. Katie said, "Taking notes." Hey, that's great. I'm glad. That's awesome. Thank you so much for joining us and for taking notes. That's why we're doing this. That's great. I love that. And oh my goodness. All right. So here's Jen Self. She is the Chicken Guy promoter. We were shocked last week, or not last week, a few days ago, when Chicken Guy upset, in our opinion, La Cantina. And then we discovered that Jen Self was one of the people who was voting. So it's become an inside joke now. So that's cool. She's one of our friends. That's cool. And then that's a good point. Parker said, who doesn't love that good Mexican food at Pecos Bill? It can also be a really economical option as well, because they have this nachos thing there that is so huge that Ginger and I can split it. So
and sometimes Evan and I have even ordered the kids nachos. Like if it was really, really hot outside and we weren't that hungry, but we were a little hungry, we'd ordered off the kids menu. That's a good money saving tip as well.
And then Jen Self said, Pecos Bill is great. Absolutely, the nachos. Exactly. Great minds. They are. They're really good. They're really good. All right. Now this next one. It also ended in a tie. I told you 4 of these were extremely close. Both of the quick service matchups ended in a tie. So I did what I always do. I messaged those same people again, asked them to break the tie. And all 5 people again chose the same restaurant. And to my shock, it was Chicken Guy. What in the world? What in the world? Oh my goodness. Oh my god. And Jen was shocked that it tied. I was shocked that it was tied too, but okay. I have some thoughts about this. Immediately I started looking at telling Ginger that I was thinking, Katie, and Jen's, she's pumped up. She's happy. I was beginning to wonder, like, is Guy Fieri like sharing this on his social media to get people to vote for his restaurant? No, it's Jennifer Self. That's who it is. It's Jen's, she's the one that's the ringleader here. She said, Chicken Guy is so good. And Parker says, wow, okay, let's take a step back for it. Absolutely. Thank you. Okay. I have thoughts. And actually, I was so shocked by this and felt such injustice for Flame Tree here. I was like, you know, that episode of The Office where Andy Bernard's like, saboteur. I was sitting there thinking that to myself, like, what are people doing? You know? Okay. Jen said Guy and her go way back. Okay, now it explains it. I understand now. I totally get it now. Oh, that's great. Okay, so here are my thoughts about this, and then I'll let Ginger share her thoughts. As we've mentioned multiple times, there are 4 criteria that we're using in this competition: food quality, value, atmosphere, and location. Atmosphere. No question about it. It's Flame Tree. It's not even close. It's Flame Tree Barbecue. That place is awesome. It's beautiful. There's no denying. It's Flame Tree Barbecue. At Chicken Guy, it's first of all, it's kind of crowded in that little restaurant. And if you eat outside, it's concrete. Like, that's what it is. Flame Tree is beautiful. I wonder, I'm going to try something here and see if it might like disconnect us, and I hope it doesn't, but we're going to try it just for a moment to see if I can show you this, because I have a photo uploaded on yeah, it's going to let me do it. Good. Okay. So, well, I thought I had a photo uploaded. Yeah, I do. Okay. So this is Flame Tree Barbecue. I mean, hello, how beautiful is that? Like, we sat actually right over here, right off the screen, and back here you can see people going by on the character cavalcades and stuff. That's Flame Tree Barbecue. It's beautiful. So atmosphere, Flame Tree. Food quality, I'm sorry, it's Flame Tree. Like that, objectively speaking, it's Flame Tree. It's close, but it's Flame Tree. Like, that's the answer. Location, it's Flame Tree. I mean, like that. It's right in the hub area of Animal Kingdom. Now, the only thing people could say about that is, well, I mean, it's not as accessible as Disney Springs, where Chicken Guy is, and I get that. So we'll say that's a toss-up. And then value, maybe you could lean that one towards Chicken Guy. So when you look at all of them together, it's Flame Tree. And I was shocked. That it did not. I was shocked.
But, you know, not everybody likes barbecue. And so that is one thing to keep in mind. Not everybody likes barbecue. There are lots of different styles of barbecue. I think Flame Tree is more of like a Kansas City style, because it's like a sweet ketchup based sauce, and a lot of people like their mustard sauce better, or, you know, their Texas style barbecue. And so, you know, it's not everybody likes barbecue, and not everybody likes the same type of barbecue. So maybe that played into it a little bit.
And even like the desserts at Flame Tree, those are really great too. So then they have some unique ones. It hurts. It physically hurt to put that one as the one. and I love Jen Self. She cracks me up. You can fight it all you want, but you can go in. And she said, you need to try the fried pickles, and the million sauce options fit every. Okay. So they do have like 30. I think it's 31 different sauces at Chicken Guy. So I get the sauce deal. I get that. It's still not Flame Tree. I muted myself by accident. That's a good question. What is the best Chicken Guy sauce? That's a really good question. So they let you pick 2. Is that correct? If 3? Oh, okay. 2 or 3.
Two or three. I don't remember.
Jen, you got to tell us, is it 2 or 3? We can't remember for sure.
Yeah, I've eaten there a couple times, but I don't remember.
The one that I had when I was there, I had the honey mustard, and then I had this other one. I can't remember the name of it because they have some of them are kind of unique names, and I can't remember the name of it. But it was like a sweet sauce, and it was good. Like, it
There's
was
a
really good.
Parmesan one that's pretty good. And then there's one that's like it's one of their signature sauces, but it reminds me, I don't know if y'all have Zaxby's where you live, but it reminded me of Zax sauce, and I really like Zax sauce a lot. But I don't remember what it was called. But they're all good. And you can buy extras. Like a certain number comes with it, but you can always buy extras if you want to try different ones.
That's right. So Jen said it depends on what meal you choose. More chicken, more sauce. She remember in there, and I think that's right as well. I think the one that I had, I got a combo, and I could pick 2, I believe, if I remember correctly. But there's 31 different ones, so you got plenty of options. So that was a really good question by the Parker Show. That was a really good question. All right, so our next matchup. We're going to go down here to the table service in the parks. Our first matchup was Liberty Tree Tavern against Le Cellier. And one interesting thing about this is Le Cellier is the only signature restaurant left in this category. And that's very intriguing. Jen Self said that in Tulsa, they have Slim Chickens, which is very similar to Chicken Guy. That's why Jen likes it. I understand that. her connection to Guy Fieri and their past and this restaurant right here. Those are the reasons. All right, so Liberty Tree Tavern against Le Cellier. This one was also incredibly close. 1 vote separated this one. The first 2 tied. This one came down to 1 vote difference. And the winner was Le Cellier. 1 vote difference. So when you tally it up there, it was 52% to 48% because literally 1 vote separated them. What do you think about that, Jen?
I mean, honestly, I'm not surprised that it was that close because both of those restaurants are fan favorites. They're for a lot of people on their list of places that they have to eat every time that they go to Disney World. They both have really cool theming. They're both in great sections of the park. Liberty Tree is right there in the middle of Liberty Square, which is close to the Haunted Mansion, not that far from Fantasyland, not that far from the Hub. Like it's just a really good accessible location. Other than Fantasyland, Liberty Square is my favorite part of Magic Kingdom. And so I think that not only that, but it's like Thanksgiving dinner, and it's a very popular food choice as well. And then Le Cellier just has those excellent steaks. They have their excellent, cheddar soup that so many people love. And it is a signature experience. So it's great for a special occasion right there in the first, one of the first pavilions that you come to in the World Showcase. So I'm totally not surprised that those were as close as they were, but I agree. I think that the edge should have, and I'm glad that it did go to Le Cellier.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's certainly the better option of the 2. People are lamenting the ooey gooey toffee cake. I understand. I understand that. And Jen also said this makes sense to me. The ooey gooey toffee cake is definitely top desserts, but Le Cellier, yeah, there you go. Such incredible food. Yep.
And here's the thing: get yourself a park hopper ticket. Have your dinner over at Le Cellier, and if and when the fireworks and the fireworks dessert parties in the Magic Kingdom come back, they serve that ooey gooey cake at the Magic Kingdom fireworks dessert party, so you can have your cake and eat at Le Cellier too.
Hey, that's a pro tip right there, folks. That's a pro tip. Well, of course, right now so that's a pro tip right there, folks. Parker Show said that's surprising. Liberty Tree has a great location. It does. It sure does. And you're right. Very popular food. But they said that they're okay with the choices as well. Those are really a really close one. Now this next one, Sci-Fi Dining against the Plaza Restaurant, it was not close, and that kind of surprised me. And it might not be what you thought it would be. Sci-Fi Dining won, And like I said, it wasn't that close. They won 61% to 39%.
Here's the thing. People love that restaurant. That is one of the most popular requests that I get from my clients to book their dining reservations for them, is to try to get them sci-fi on their Hollywood Studios day. Like, people absolutely love that restaurant. So I think a lot of it has to do with the theme, especially for kids. It's really fun to eat dinner sitting in a car, because a lot of parents, for good reason, may tell their kids, no, you're not eating in the car because you don't want 57 French fries under their car seat. But they can totally sit in a car at Disney and eat their dinner. So I'm not surprised at all.
And sci-fi is definitely getting some love in the comments right now. A lot of people comment. So Parker shows, yeah, they're all about sci-fi, and they say, woo. Katie said the ambiance is awesome at sci-fi, and that's the thing. I mean, it is the atmosphere. That's what people love about it. Jen said it's got to be sci-fi for atmosphere. There you go. Absolutely. It literally has the best atmosphere of all. Absolutely. I mean, once again, you're sitting in that 50s car. I think it's a 57 Chevy, I think, or 55 Chevy. I mean, that's it's part of the awesome atmosphere. I see all these comments about I agree totally. Super fun. Absolutely. Danny Boy on YouTube said, didn't see that coming. Honestly, I thought the Plaza was going to win when we first announced this matchup. I thought Plaza would win, and it did not. Danny also makes a really good point about Le Cellier. He said signature restaurants should blow non-signature out of the water, and he's right. You would think it would, and it was only a 1 point difference. So that's really interesting. That's a good point. So that people loving sci-fi there. That's cool. That's cool. Before we move over to the other side of the bracket, I just want to zoom out real quick and look at these four. So I'm going to take that off, and let's look at these four restaurants. Before we started this, so Jen Self said, it's burgers and shakes because it's 50s themed, and you can't go wrong with that. Super family, yeah, absolutely. It appeals to everybody. That's a good point. Before we started this, these four restaurants right here, if I had asked, and y'all can chime in online as well, if I had asked you what are the two best quick service restaurants in all of Disney World, would you have said Pecos Bill and Chicken Guy? Would you have said that, Jen?
I would not. I would have probably picked. I would have probably picked Flame Tree Barbecue, Satu'li Canteen. Those would probably have been the two. Maybe Docking Bay 7, maybe Polite Pig, maybe La Cantina. But I mean, I like Pecos Bill. Like, I really do like Pecos Bill a lot. And I like Chicken Guy. I like both of these, but I don't think that they're the best quick service restaurants in Disney World. I think that Chicken Guy is one of the best at Disney Springs. And I think that Pecos Bill is the best in Magic Kingdom. But I don't think they're necessarily the best everywhere, but they are good.
I totally agree. Jen Self said no, she wouldn't have chosen those two as the two best. Hey, Jason, welcome, Jason. It's cool, man. It's good to see you. He said sci-fi is definitely a must do next trip. Absolutely. That's cool that you have Jason with us. That's cool. The Parker Show said no, but it really sums down what is really the best restaurant. Okay, yeah, that's a fair point. It looks like no one would have really chosen this, but I think what we're seeing here is the luck of the draw, how they were paired up against people. And it just so happened that these two end up making it all the way through. Maggie said, hey, Maggie, it's good to have you with us. We love Maggie. She said, Casey's for sure would have been yeah, okay, I get that. And I totally understand that. Because it is such an icon. It is so iconic. And it's right there in the hub at the corner of Main Street. So that's a good point. Ash said, Docking Bay 7, absolutely. Jen Self said Satu'li for sure would have been in hers. La Cantina de San. Now wait a minute, Jen. Hang on. Whoa! Now, are you saying the two best quick service restaurants are La Cantina and Satu'li? Because Jen, you picked Chicken Guy to beat La Cantina. What's going on, man? Is it just because you're friends with Guy Fieri? Is that what's going on? Like, is that why you chose it? Oh man, that cracks me up. That's fun. I like that. Okay, so let's look at the other ones. The table service in Disney parks. That's pretty good. She's so let's look at the other ones. Table service in Disney parks. Before we started this competition, if I had asked all of you all, Jen, if I keep pointing over there because she's over there, but I have to go like this because she's above me on the screen. If I had asked all of you all that name the 2 best table service restaurants in Disney parks that is not a character experience, would you have chosen Le Cellier and Sci-Fi Dining? Now, personally, I think that probably people would have chosen Le Cellier.
I would have put Le Cellier on the list for sure. I'm glad it made it all the way.
I don't think I would have put Sci-Fi in there.
I don't think I would have. I might have said, I definitely might have said Sci-Fi is the best in Hollywood Studios, but I don't think I would have put it all the way through the category. I'm trying to look at these others here. I mean, I really like some of the ones that didn't make it through. I like Via Napoli a whole lot. I think that's a great one. I do like Liberty Tree Tavern. I think that that's a good one too. So I think we do see the benefit of just the way the chips fell when we randomly drew these to face off against each other.
Absolutely. Jen said those are their top 3. Chicken got made in the top 3. I got you. All right. Well, let's go to the other side of the bracket now. Let's go over here to the resorts and Disney Springs category. None of these were really very close. Which one of them I thought would be really close, and it wasn't. But none of these were super close. But let's zoom in here. We'll come over here up to the top of this first. All right. So the first matchup was Danny Boy said on Hollywood Studio Day they're going to try Chef de. Well, Chef de France is actually in the France Pavilion of Epcot, so I would very much recommend that. At that Chef de France, man, it is awesome. The atmosphere is especially if you're going for like a date night. The atmosphere is very romantic atmosphere. That would be honestly, when I asked Ginger what 2 would you have put in there, that was the one that came to my mind. Le Cellier and Chef de France would have probably been the 2. You could make a case for Hollywood Brown Derby just because of the icon status of it, but I would have said Chef de France and Le Cellier.
And if you've got a Park Hopper ticket, it is super easy to get over to Epcot from Hollywood Studios because you can just either take the Skyliner or you can take a boat between the 2. So it is really easy. That's a big, I think, reason to work with an agent is because we do kind of know like the layout of the property. And so, that's a question we can answer. Like, can I get here from there and rather quickly? And if you're talking about getting between Epcot and Hollywood Studios, you absolutely can. Because they're 2 that you could walk between those 2 parks if you wanted to. But you can also take other forms of transportation too.
Ginger makes a great point. I mean, the Skyliner right there at the back entrance in the International Gateway at Epcot would let you off literally right next to Chef de France. So that would be a super fast way. Skyliner is awesome, y'all, for convenience. It really is. All righty. Disney Resorts and Disney Springs. The first matchup, Kona Cafe against Chef Art Smith's Homecoming. This is a resort versus Disney Spring matchup, actually. Oh, hey, now that's what I'm talking about. Danny Boy said they do have a park hopper and they're staying at Beach Club. That is perfect. Absolutely. Because you can just walk literally from Chef de France back to the Beach Club. That's perfect. I mean, that is awesome. That's the way to do it right there. Well done. Well done, sir.
I love the location of that hotel. I think, especially if you're going to be there when Epcot's doing a festival, stay at the Beach Club because you're literally the closest you can be to Epcot.
Well, all righty. So Kona Cafe at the Polynesian Resort against Chef Art Smith's Homecoming in Disney Springs. And it really wasn't close. Homecoming won, and the point differential was 61% to 39%. Wasn't very close. Homecoming we have repeatedly seen this now all throughout this competition. Homecoming has gotten a lot of love from a lot of people in this competition. Let's see. Somebody's saying here. Oh, Katie said, "Oh, such an easy walk." That's right. From Beach Club to International Gateway at Epcot. It is. It's beautiful too. It's a beautiful walk. So a lot of love coming in. Yep. Jen said, Homecoming is amazing. Absolutely. Parker Show said, yeah, my Disney trip was canceled due to travel. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Hopefully that's going to start loosening up a little bit as time goes on here. So hopefully you'll get to reschedule that trip. Maggie said the absolute best. She's talking about Homecoming. She said the absolute best mac and cheese, our favorite at Disney Springs. Hey, everybody loves mac and cheese, so that's a strong thing to be good at right there. Because talking about appealing to everybody. Jen said the deviled eggs, fried chicken, cheddar biscuits, so good. Ash said the same thing. Love the cheddar biscuits there. So that it is obviously Homecoming is obviously a fan favorite because it hasn't really had a close matchup yet. Jason said, come on, the only good thing about my last day in Disney is Tonga toast and coffee before the airport. I'll have to try Homecoming. Yeah, absolutely. See, I love this. Danny Boy said my Disneyland trip was canceled. That's why we're going to Disney World. Oh, gotcha. Totally understand. And thankfully Disneyland is opening up soon too. So that's exciting. But man, the Beach Club and Epcot, you're going to love that. It's going to be so good. So Homecoming and it marches on. Let's see who it's going to face. Now this next one, y'all know this is my baby. Beaches and Cream against the Boathouse. It was a little close. It was much closer than the last one. I know it doesn't sound, when you see the results, it won't sound like it. But Disney Springs is coming in strong here, y'all. The Boathouse beat out Beaches and Cream, and it was 58% to 42%. It was actually closer than that. I just rounded. It was actually 57.5% to 42.5%, but I rounded. So 58, I mean, that's pretty close, actually. Like once you get above 60-40, then it's not that close. But if it's between that 60-40 range, that's a pretty close matchup. And this one certainly was. Because a lot of people have a strong affinity for Beaches and Cream just because of the nostalgia of it. The soda shop atmosphere it's great. The ice cream. I showed y'all this last time. You know, this was our last time at Beaches and Cream. The one on the left was mine, and the one on the right was Ginger's. And y'all, it was amazing. Like it was so good. That was just, it was the bomb. So good.
They and also too, like if you. It's interesting the trends that develop with people who travel to Disney World a lot and who have their favorite resorts that they stay at regularly or have their favorite resort area that they stay in. And for a lot of people, that Epcot resort area, which is where Yacht Club, Beach Club, Boardwalk, the Swan and Dolphin, like that whole area, the Beaches and Cream is kind of famous over there. You know, like it's where I know for us, whenever we stay in that area, it is the place that we have dinner on our arrival day, because we just love it so much. And we have good memories of going there multiple times. And, you know, so I think if you don't maybe travel to Disney a lot, or if you don't really stay in that area, you might not have knowledge of Beaches and Cream. You might not have as much experience with Beaches and Cream, but the Boathouse, you know, is excellent food. And much more accessible, much more known. A lot of even locals will eat at Boathouse a whole lot. So, I mean, that was a tough matchup because those are both really, really good choices.
Absolutely. Jen Self said Beaches and Cream was my vote, but only because of the ice cream. It's good, y'all. It's really good. The Parker Show said, darn it. Wait, I voted for it. That's what I'm talking about. Danny Boy said that those were the two he thought would come out of this region, and you were right. You were absolutely right. And Danny Boy, if you're staying at the Beach Club, you got to try to get a reservation at Beaches. Oh, he just actually said we do plan on a kitchen sink at Beaches. Absolutely. The kitchen sink is literally, for those of you who may not know, it is literally a kitchen sink and filled with ice cream, and literally every single topping they have at the restaurant. And it's such a cool thing when they bring it out, like sirens start going off and there's a whole thing, that whole production about it. It's such a cool thing. So I'm glad y'all are going to get to do that. Ash said ice cream is so good. It really is. Jen Self said they got the same sundae we did. It's that peanut butter in there. Man, it's so good. It's that peanut butter in there. This is a really good. Oh, Ash said the kitchen sink is crazy. It is. This is a really good question. Katie asked, do they have dairy-free ice cream? I do not know the answer to that. Do you know, Jen?
Yeah, I don't off the top of my head, but you can view their menu on Disney's website. So if you wanted to pull that up and look, you could check it out to see. But I don't know off the top of my head if they have dairy-free ice cream or not. But I know that typically Disney's really good about working with allergies and food intolerances and things like that.
And Jen Self said the kitchen sink has a whole can, an entire can of whipped cream on top too. That's what they do, and they bring it out and they say, and a whole can of and everybody in the restaurant goes, a whole can. It's a fun atmosphere. It's really cool. But I think if I had to guess, I think the food quality of the entrees is what pushed the Boathouse over the edge.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I 100% agree with that.
So Disney Springs, man, a strong showing. When you look down this list of all of these restaurants, if we count, so there were 16 restaurants from Disney or in this category, resorts in Disney Springs. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 of them. That's it. No, 4, Morimoto. 4 of them were from Disney Springs. 2 of the 4 made it all the way through to the essentially the championship match of that region, that category. So that shows just how strong Disney Springs really is when it comes to food. I mean, look when you think about the Elite 8 right now, we've done 6 of them, and 2 of the 6 are in Disney Springs. So I mean, that just shows how strong Disney Springs is when it comes to food. So let's go to the last category here, the character dining category. Now, this one, in my humble opinion, I think this was by far and away the most difficult category to vote for today, because
and we got that comment from several people saying, like, this is really hard. This is the hardest matchups that we've had.
That's a good point. That's right. We did. This was really difficult because these are 4 really strong restaurants. And if you caught our live stream 2 nights ago, or maybe it was last night, whenever we revealed this, it was last night. Okay. If you caught our live stream, then we pretty much everybody agreed. Like if you had picked 4 character dining restaurants, these would have been the 4. Like these are probably the best 4. And so I think that was really good. Jen Self said there are so many other great table services Disney Springs as well. Yeah, there sure are. Absolutely. So when you get to these matchups, now, to my surprise, really neither one of these was very close. One of them was a little bit closer than the other, but I was actually kind of surprised at how not close they were. So this first one, man, I'm telling you, you've got a lot of love for both of these, a very loyal following for each one of these restaurants. The winner was Ohana, and it wasn't close. It was 62% to 38%, which it didn't totally surprise me that Ohana won, but that margin of victory sure did.
Okay, here's my theory on this one. Evan and I have done both of these. We've done breakfast at Ohana. We've done breakfast at Topolino's Terrace. Loved them both. Would do either one of them again. However, personally, I think Topolino's, in terms of food quality, it was not even close as to which one was better. Topolino's Terrace is just on a different level. It is excellent in terms of the food. But Ohana is iconic. I mean, it is at one of the original Disney hotels. It is in the Magic Kingdom area. it has so much history. It has a beautiful view. It has a really awesome vibe. It's very laid back and tropical there. So I see a lot of reasons to love Ohana. But Topolino's Terrace, one thing to keep in mind is that this restaurant opened in December of 2019. It was open through mid-March, and then the park shut down. And they didn't reopen, as we all know, until July. And not everybody has had the opportunity to make it back down to Disney World. And so I think maybe a lot of people just have not gotten to try Topolino's yet. And it is worth the try. It is excellent food. Really, really good.
I think that's a really good point. I think that it's newness. If that is that a word? It is now. It's newness. I think that kind of hurt Topolino's a little bit here. I think if I had to guess, because remember, it's not just the character dining experience that is what we're voting on. That was part of when we started this. We said character dining experience is part of the atmosphere criteria. And I think if I had to guess, I would say that probably dinner at Ohana is the thing that pushed it over the edge. And that's why people voted for Ohana due to the other meals in the day. And I get that. Some of the comments have come in here. Danny Boy said, Ohana was fun. My son got to dance around the room with Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And it is so much fun. When we went there, it was so neat. Like you could just see like pure joy on the kids' faces, man, as they're going around the room. It's a great point. Great point. Katie said, "Wow." Jen Self said, "What?" Jen is a major supporter of Topolino's as well. Ash said, "I'm so surprised." Absolutely, and Jen said, "No way, no how." Jen said, yes, Ginger, the food at Topolino's is incredible. And it is. I mean, that's what it's. Topolino's is known for two things: really good food and probably the best view in all of Disney World from any restaurant. You can see all four parks from Topolino's. Yeah, I mean, I get that. Maggie said Ohana is the Blevins' favorite, hands down restaurant in Disney. It's a staple every single trip. I totally get that. Oh, she said Blevins is meaning Blevins, and Davis. Oh, I got you, because they're good friends with some other good friends of ours, the Davis family, and so they combine their names. That's cool. I like that. And so they always go down there with them, the Davis family. And she said that's a staple for them. They got to go to Ohana every time they're there. And you know what? I totally get that. There are a lot of people like that. Probably for dinner, if I had to guess, that's probably where they go. Chrissy said she agrees that she thinks it's probably. Do you agree about dinner? That was what pushed it over. And that's the thing. It's such a iconic thing at Ohana. Particularly, like I said, the dinner menu that people love. We had I mentioned the other night, we had a friend of ours, our neighbor, text us and say, hey, y'all should have put Ohana in a different category because it's that dinner that's so good. So, I mean, everybody loves the dinner there. And it is, you got a view of the castle when the fireworks are happening, then you can see the fireworks from Ohana. So, I mean, it's a special place too. So, you couldn't go wrong. Either one of these, Topolino's or Ohana, you can't go wrong. You're gonna have a great experience at either one of them. So our last Sweet 16 matchup, our last Elite Eight participant between Be Our Guest and Storybook Dining. Storybook Dining won, and it was 60% to 40%. Good choice, everybody. Good choice.
Yeah, I totally agree with that and would have chosen it that way myself. Here's the thing about Be Our Guest. It is beautiful in there. I love the location. I love the theming. The food is just not everybody's cup of tea. And Storybook Dining has a much better menu selection, in my opinion. I ordered actually it was a vegetarian dish when we were there. It was called a Walk Through Nature. And it was like, it was gnocchi, and it was in this incredible sauce. It was so good. It was one of the best dishes that I've ever had. And lots of times the vegetarian options aren't really as good as the others. And this was phenomenal. And Evan had some kind of pork shank, I think is what he ordered.
It was either pork or beef or something.
Yeah, it was some sort of roast, but it was really good too. And the sides there are good. The desserts there are really fun. They're very themed. It's just a great meal. I really, really hope that one reopens soon because it's not open right now. But when it is, it's one of our favorites.
And Jen, that's a really good point because both of the look at both of the winners in this. They're not the winners, but the championship matchup in this category. Neither one are open right now. So isn't this interesting that everybody's two favorite character dining experiences? Maybe we should send this to Walt Disney World. Say, hey, everybody's waiting for these to reopen.
And Ohana is probably not open just because of the refurbishments that are going on at the Grand Ceremonial House right now, which is the main lobby at the Polynesian. That's
a really good point.
Doing some work on the monorail platform, and they're kind of retheming that whole area because they just refurbished the rooms. So they're giving it a refresh, and that might be why. And Wilderness Lodge, parts of Wilderness Lodge are open, and so I really hope that they'll bring that character meal back soon because it's fabulous.
We're having a lot of comments come in about this one. For Jen Selfs, first of all, she said, "Yay!" She was excited. Our son said he's heartbroken about this. The Parker Show said, "No, be our guest. I trusted you." I love that. That's great. Ash said that I love the theming. The bar. Oh, absolutely, yes, 100%, totally agree. The ballroom in Be Our Guest restaurant is beautiful. I mean, it itself is worth going there to eat because just being in that room, it's amazing. I 100% agree with that. Jen Self said, Be Our Guest is a great theme, but food is way too fancy French food for most people, and you just can't beat the Wilderness Lodge with Snow White. I understand that. Danny Boy said, Be Our Guest was absolutely beautiful, but the food was so. I get that. That's a good point that we talked about. I think last time we were talking about Be Our Guest is the two of us personally, we liked to Be Our Guest when it was quick service for lunch because they had that croque monsieur with the sandwich. Man, that was good. That was so good.
And they had I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation, but it's like a coq au vin, I think is what they call it. But it was like braised beef, and it was fabulous. It was as good as a lot of the table service entrees that I've gotten. Honestly, it was great.
And that cupcake you got, the gray stuff, it was good too. It was really good.
You can still get that cupcake at Gaston's Tavern now.
Oh, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
literally. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And we loved the lunch food. I agree with Jen Self. I keep saying Jen because I got Jen over here. Different spelling, Jen. Jen Self. I agree with her that the dinner food at Be Our Guest wasn't necessarily our cup of tea, like Jen said, but that lunch food, yeah, that's good stuff. And the theming, just like Danny Boy said, the theming, and like Ash said, and Jen Self said, y'all, seriously, everybody needs to eat there once at least just to experience being in that ballroom. It's gorgeous. And Jen Self made a good point. She's like, yes, please open them up. Absolutely. And I think, Ginger's, I think what you said about the work being done on the monorail at the entrance there, I think that's a big reason. Jen Self said, we love Be Our Guest when it was quick service too. Absolutely. It was a must do every trip. French dip and the gray stuff. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Parker Show said that gray stuff, that stuff is gray. It's super tasty. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nathan, you crack me up, man. I love it when you join us, Nathan. You're welcome anytime, buddy. Every time he leaves one comment, says, cool. I agree. It's just like I did the last two times. It is cool, man. I love when you join us, buddy. Danny Boy said, I agree. The lunch was a much better experience. Yeah, absolutely. That I was just wondering that actually, Danny, that you just mentioned that. I was literally just wondering that. Kona is open, but Ohana's not. And I don't know why. And I think that's a good point.
I think it probably has to do with capacity, because like Ohana, I mean,
That's a good
obviously
point.
they could limit capacity, but if Ohana was open, it's going to be a much bigger crowd draw than Kona Cafe is, and they can't, I mean, they can still get people over there pretty efficiently, but not, maybe as efficiently as when the monorail is running. And that's really the only theory that I've come up with as to why one, because they do share a kitchen. And it is odd that one's open and the other's not. So that's the best I got, but I don't know if it's right.
Katie said, "All righty, now I need to go change my reservation." Hey, you know what? I love that, Katie. This not only is this fun, because this is a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun to talk about it, and it's fun to give Jen Self a hard time about her friendship with Guy Fieri, but it's a lot of fun to talk about. But at the same time, like, this is so helpful for a lot. I mean, I've learned stuff from different people as we've done this about, well, maybe I should go here, that kind of stuff. I've definitely learned a lot as we've been doing this. So I tell you what, but let's zoom out real quick and just look at our Elite Eight, because we now have the Elite Eight. Katie, so Jen makes a good point here. Make sure you're eating at Crystal Palace, because the food now, that post reopening, the food at Crystal Palace, rave reviews for the food at Crystal Palace.
Yeah, Jen actually talked me into reserving it for our trip next month, so we're going to give it a try when we're down there, because I just heard so many good things about it, and I was like, I got to try this out for myself.
So I hope it's large enough for everybody to see on their screen. I'll try to zoom in a hair here. See if we can just get, yeah, that's perfect. There we go. So here's our Elite Eight. This is what's going to happen tomorrow. It's only a day away. Sounds like a song. Tomorrow, we're going to be voting on these 4 matchups. Pecos Bill against Chicken Guy. Sorry, it still pains me to say that. Le Cellier against Sci-Fi Dine-In. Art Smith's Homecoming against the Boathouse. And Ohana against Storybook Dining. Y'all, 3 of those matchups. I'm still reserving judgment on this one up here, the quick service, but 3 of these matchups are really good matchups, particularly the 2 on the right side of the bracket. Those are both really good matchups. I think this one is going to be very interesting. Le Cellier against Sci-Fi Dine-In. It's basically what it's going to come down to is atmosphere versus food quality. Because, location is the same, really. They're both in easily accessible parts of the parks that they're in.
Or do you like steak and do you not?
Yeah, that's fair too.
It comes down to, yeah.
That's a good point too. So I think, but that's going to be a very intriguing matchup. So tomorrow, here's the game plan. Tomorrow, we will be voting on these 4 matchups until 8:00 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night. Because at 8:00 p.m. tomorrow night, we'll close voting, and I'm going to calculate all the results so that tomorrow night at 9:00 Eastern time, we can go live again and reveal our final 4. So that's the game plan. We'll vote all. I'm going to go ahead and make the stuff and put it on Ginger social media stuff really soon, like probably within the next couple hours. And so voting will start as soon as you see those, and it'll go from then until 8:00 p.m. tomorrow night. And we'll cut off voting then. We'll tabulate all the results, and we'll show the final 4. So that's the game plan. We got several comments coming in here. Let's see what some folks are saying. Katie said she has a client going to, that's one of coworkers. She's got a client going there tomorrow. That's cool. That's exciting. The Parker Show said almost there. Or she's almost there. or you're right. We're the final 4 tomorrow. And Parker Show, we so appreciate you all. Y'all are always with us, and we appreciate that. They're saying go Sci-Fi. They are all about Sci-Fi Dining. Jen Self said that they're going to love Crystal Palace. Ash said the dessert is amazing. At Crystal Palace, yes. That's I would guarantee that's what she's talking about. We got sent a photo of the dessert from another one of Ginger's coworkers the other day, and man, that stuff looked good. Jen Self said, I would have put Topolino's winning the entire thing, but my bracket's busted. I understand. She said, I agree with all of them, but character dining. And she said, for that quick service, we sure do. We know Jen's
she's got Chicken Guy winning it all. And we will just, if anybody's interested, Evan and I, after we announce the winner that you all have chosen, Evan and I are going to do another live, like a final live to kind of wrap this up, where we're going to reveal our brackets. If we had been choosing, we're going to reveal what we would have picked as our favorites and see how they compared with what everybody voted for. So that'll be hopefully kind of fun for everybody to see too.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. I think that'll be cool too. It'll be fun. So here it is. Here's our Elite Eight. As soon as everybody sees those show up on social media, have at it. We'll start voting, and we'll vote all the way up until 8:00 p.m. tomorrow night. So we hope everybody has a good Friday, literally, that you have a good Friday. And we hope to see everybody tomorrow night at 9:00 p.m. Eastern time for the reveal of the Final Four. And I'll let Jen Pierce. That throws me off every time. I'll let Ginger take us out.
Well, just again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for all the comments and all the votes, and we really appreciate it. Just to remind you, if you're interested in planning a trip to Disney to experience any of these restaurants, that my planning services are completely free. You book your vacation through me, and it doesn't cost you any extra to book through me than it would to book on Disney's website. And so if you're interested in information or a free quote, you can visit my blog at gingermmt.com. Thanks for joining us.